Good evening, everyone. I'm McKenna Nobles. Thanks for joining me for Wiregrass Daily News at 6. We had an action-packed day today, so let's go ahead and get into it. A federal judge has dismissed a lawsuit against two Dothan police officers accused of unlawfully detaining a First Amendment auditor, a ruling that could impact similar cases in the future. The law was filed by George Metz II, who claimed officers D. Bridges and J. Dodson violated his rights when they handcuffed him for about 30 minutes in 2021. Metz was filming inside the Department of Human Resources lobby when staff called police after he refused to stop recording. The case initially allowed officers to be held personally responsible, but in December, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals overturned that ruling. Now they're siding with the officers and the city. That decision was finalized this week, officially closing the case. In Elba, a federal judge has recommended dismissing a lawsuit filed by a former Elba police chief. Freddie Troy Staley, who sued the city after being fired last year. Staley was removed in 2023 over allegations of failing to perform his duties and a domestic dispute involving his mother, who sought a protection order against him. That order was then later dismissed. Staley claimed he was unfairly targeted and sued for $5 million in damages. A U.S. magistrate judge found his lawsuit did not meet federal legal standards, but a final ruling is still pending. We have some news out of the Panhandle today. The Bay County Sheriff's Office is investigating a severe dog attack in Panama City Beach that left one man critically injured. Deputies say 49-year-old Michael Arthur John Jr. was attacked Tuesday afternoon on Laird Street. He currently remains in critical condition at a Florida hospital, and witnesses are being interviewed to determine what exactly happened. The dog's owner was arrested for resisting law enforcement and animal control officers. Animal control took the dog into custody and have confirmed that the dog has been euthanized. Staying kind of in the Panhandle area, authorities have arrested both suspects in the 2021 burglary of Vernon Discount Drugs, with the final suspect caught this week. Take a look at your screen. Shaquelle Lamar Walker was apprehended in Birmingham, Alabama, and is being held at the Jefferson County Detention Center. The other suspect, 36-year-old Shelton Deontay Reddick, was arrested earlier after DNA evidence linked him to this crime. He remains in the Washington County Jail on burglary and grand theft charges with a $90,000 bond. Now, the two suspects allegedly broke into a pharmacy in July of 2021, stealing controlled substances before fleeing. Investigators used DNA evidence to identify Reddick, which led to both arrests. We are switching gears into some lighter news now. The National Peanut Festival Fairgrounds was absolutely filled with students from 16 area schools that took part in the Alabama College of Osteopathic Medicine's Wiregrass District Science Fair. Middle schoolers, along with 4th and 5th graders, competed today, showcasing their talents in categories such as biomedical engineering, chemistry, earth and environmental sciences, robotics, and more. Now, winners from the district competition will move on to the Regional Science Fair at Auburn University in mid-March. They will have a chance to present their work on an even bigger stage. Dr. Christina Kennedy, a physiology professor and director of community partnerships with ACOM, tells me that each year, all of the participants share one thing in common.
Just their enthusiasm is fantastic about science, just being excited about science in general, and then they're learning about the scientific method and be able to communicate the aspect of it is wonderful.
And I did just want to kind of include that little soundbite at the end because all of the kids were so happy to be there. They all had the biggest smiles. And some of those projects that they made, one of the kids I talked to, it was a boy, I believe, some of the software, he's a software engineer, and some of the software he's used and created has been used by MIT, is what he told me. And also just the dedication that you saw and kids being excited to talk about school and their projects is really something special to see. We're going to go to Ozark now, where the Parks and Recreation organization is preparing for the 6th annual Polar Plunge and Bubble Run. The event is set for Saturday, February 15th at 9 a.m. at 401 Martin Street in Ozark. Participants can register in person at the Ozark Community Pool Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And kind of break down the pricing for you. For $25, you will get to run and plunge. $15 gets you a t-shirt. $15 will also get you just a polar plunge pass, and $10 if you're just wanting to do the run. Now, I've personally never done a polar plunge. I've swam in some pretty cold water, but I've kind of just had to go with the flow when that circumstance kind of presented itself, but I've never signed up to jump into cold water and then go on a run afterwards. So I don't know. Could be something fun to do if you're a little risk taker, but I don't know. I've never done it. Could be something fun. So before we go, of course, we're going to take a look at weather. So cloudy conditions will persist with fog developing after midnight tonight. The lows are going to be around 60, which is even warmer than last night. And today that high was 75 degrees, so another beautiful sunny day here in Dothan. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, and I wouldn't say sunny. What am I saying? It was a little bit cloudy today, but again, it was a nice from those really cold temperatures we saw not that long ago. Well, guys, I hope everyone had a fantastic Wednesday, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.